So good afternoon, friends. Jill Beverlin from ELCA Coaching Ministry here, and I am with colleague Melissa Schroeder, and we're here to talk to you today about what to expect from a coaching conversation. So Melissa, for context, if you could please tell us, what's your connection to coaching?
Well, right now, I have the great privilege of accompanying 3 congregations in the Congregational Lead Initiative.
Wonderful. And how long have you been coaching?
I've been coaching since 2020. I think I took my first coaching class through the ELCA, and I just got my ACC accreditation here in January.
Well, congratulations on that. Wonderful. Thank you for that context as well. So as a leader or a team prepares to work with a coach, what can they expect from a coaching conversation?
Well, first of all, with the Congregational Lead Initiative, these are all churches that are involved in this. And I've asked all these teams if they would like to start in prayer. So the first thing we do, and they all have said yes, that we surround this whole process in prayer. And for these congregations, that's very important. And the second thing with the coaching, I feel like the coach really believes that these congregations are very creative, resourceful, and have everything that they need to do what God is calling them to do in their context. So the coach is someone who believes in them and supports them and is there to accompany them to do what God has called them to do. The coach is there to ask them great questions, then ask them more questions, hold them accountable to some of the ideas and projects or things that they've come up with. Also, I feel like the coach brings great energy into the space as we get together and facilitates the conversation, especially in team coaching, because there's a lot of people involved. So sometimes you need some facilitation. So everybody has an opportunity to be heard.
Excellent. So I'm hearing a lot of things in your answer, Melissa, that the energy that the coach brings to the coaching relationship is really important. Right alongside of that, I'm hearing that the coach is the person that accompanies the leader or the team on their journey of discovery, and that the coach is a huge encourager and really believes that that leader and that team has absolutely everything that they need to succeed and reach their goals.
Absolutely. And we get the privilege of watching these teams grow, learn, bloom, and do these great, amazing things that they have within them that they don't even realize. That's the amazing part and privilege of being a coach.
Absolutely. And you named that right away. It's an honor and a privilege to be a coach and to walk with individuals as they are on this process of discovery, for sure. So another important question is, in your experience in coaching, what is often most misunderstood about coaching conversations?
That when I come into the room, that I'm the expert. No. And that I'm there to tell them what to do and I have the answers. No. They are the expert. The person, the team, they are the expert in their context and what they are doing. I'm here to witness, to listen deeply, and to ask those questions, to hear and notice maybe what's not being said, and then to bring that to awareness. And then again, explore what could be.
Absolutely. And there's so much power, Melissa, in having that outside individual listening to you deeply, making those observations that if you're on the inside of the context, sometimes you can't see. And a coach can help you look at things differently and gain new perspective.
Absolutely. And it's helpful to have that balcony view.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we've really solidified the power of the deep listening and powerful questions and what makes a coaching conversation unique. So the other question is, and you've already touched on some of these things, but I think it's important to put it all together. What are some components that help these coaching conversations go well?
Well, I find it very helpful when the team is prepared with what they're working on when they come in, or even if they just have an idea of what they'd like to begin exploring, or and open to the process. You don't have to have everything figured out because that's why we're here. We're here to ask questions, explore ideas, to maybe take a risk or two. And then also, especially in the team with the Congregational Lead Initiative program, to be willing to listen to the other people on your team. Because there's beauty and wisdom within the collective. And then you feed off each other, and it's like, wow, amazing things happen.
Absolutely. I love that. I love those ingredients. And it's almost like I'm envisioning a crucible that you're putting these elements in and mixing it around. And when you do that, it's the best possible environment for generative, creative ideas to grow and to grow into possible experiments. And so with that word experiment, I have another question for you. What happens if the team or the leader comes and has a story to share about something that they tried and it failed?
Well, first of all, we celebrate, woohoo, you did something. Thanks be to God. And then the next thing we ask, what did we learn? No one succeeds hardly ever on the first try. So we celebrate that something happened. And I mean, that's the biggest hurdle. We did something. And then after that, we can take a look and say, okay, what did we do well? What needs to change? What are the opportunities we missed? Who else can we involve? It's this great opportunity to think about it differently. And there are so many things we learn by trying that we would have totally missed if we never would have even done it in the first place. So it's never failing. The failing is if we never would have done anything.
Amen. And I have to say, friend, that I have never seen someone talk about an instance that didn't go the way they planned with as much positive energy as you. And I want anyone that listens to this recording to hear that and to see that truly in coaching, we almost should eliminate the word fail, because it is all about a learning opportunity. And maybe instead a phrase we can use is, well, that didn't go as we expected. And from there, what did we learn? And I deeply appreciate your questions. You know, what went well? What didn't go well? And what learning can we take from that, and what needs to happen differently next time? Sounds like a beautiful formula to learn, to grow, to be emboldened, to take steps into the unknown. A last question, Melissa, is what's an encouragement that you have both to coaches and to people that would be working with a coach?
Be open and keep listening. We all have wisdom. It's in there. And trust that wisdom that you bring. I think our society, and sometimes even our theology, tells us always to look out for the wisdom, but we all have the living, breathing divine that lives within us. And it is there, and we are invited to listen to that. So as a coach, your job is to bring your curiosity and to listen. And as a congregation, you're there to listen and to also bring your curiosity and try, experiment, don't be afraid, explore together, and we all just keep going forward. And what is our next yes step that we can do to keep walking and doing what we feel God is calling us to do?
I think that's beautiful theology, my friend. I think you are spot on, and using everything that you talked about, the collective wisdom of the whole, the wisdom that we have inside of us that comes from that place where we name that God lives in our hearts, and putting that all together in that crucible, that conversation of coaching, and deciding what our next most faithful step might be.